Inside of this box might single-handedly be one of the best deals in radio control. I'm not messing around either. What they're claiming with the specs on this thing, it almost seems too good to be true. So let's get it out of the box and take a closer look. So let's get it out of the box and take a closer look. But first, as always, guys, we do not get Jack Diddley Squat for free. VEVOR did not send us or pay us anything. That being said, we did sign up for their affiliate program. So if you click the link down in the description below to go check out this car and you are interested in it and buy it or buy anything else from VEVOR, we will get a small commission at no extra cost to you. We do not sell this truck on our website, but there is a link down in the description below to our own website where you can check out other RC cars, parts, boats, planes, helicopters, everything else that we sell. If you're interested, the link will be down in the description below. Back to what you came for. This is one of the best RC car boxes I have ever seen. It is actually textured, so when you feel it, you can feel the car stands out. This brushless motor logo up here stands out. That's just print, but the extreme off-road thing up here stands out, which I guess that's what this car is called, off-road extreme. And it looks like it's gonna be purple, which is interesting because it showed an orange body on the website. Here's a look at one of the other body styles that they offer, kind of like a short course desert racer look with LED bars and a tire in the back. I did not see that on VEVOR's website, but it might be on there. And then just here's a look at the entire model lineup that they have. This one is brushless. I'm not sure if the other ones are brushless or brushed because they do offer this chassis in both configurations. It does look like it should go 60 plus. I'm guessing that's kilometers per hour. They actually taped over it with a 8+ sticker here. We had two of them where they taped over, but if you peel it back, it does say 60 plus there as well. Big wheels. Good, I guess. It's a monster truck. Metal shocks, 2.4 gigahertz, 4-wheel drive, and they are claiming it's a 10th scale, but looking at this box, this is definitely going to be closer to like a 12th scale truck. Now, those are all features you would come to know and expect out of a decent hobby grade radio control vehicle. But the crazy part with this truck is it's only $130. That's just pure loco for a brushless vehicle this size if it lives up to the hype. But if you're broke, you can pick up the brush version for just 90 bucks. But that's VEVOR's whole business model. Take factory leftovers from China, slap their name on it, and offer it to customers across the globe at the same price or cheaper. So let's figure out this mess we got going on and give you guys a closer look of everything that comes in the box. Starting off with the manual, everything inside is VEVOR branded. They do have some pictures of the trucks, parts breakdown guides inside, and they do actually include a parts list. So if you need spare parts, can easily find them online. VEVOR does not actually sell the spare parts on their website, but if you look up these part numbers and search other similar brands or trucks, they will pop up for you out there on AliExpress, eBay, and other platforms. Speaking of which, in the back, they do list the factory this truck is made at, that Shantou Pingjiang Toys factory. Those boys over there are responsible for a bunch of the cheaper and hobby grade RCs out on the market. And now for this crazy mess of white bags you get in the box. One is going to contain your composite rear wing mounts and body clips. Two are housing your 18650 style 1500 mAh 3S LiPo packs with T connectors. And finally, in the last bag, you get a whole mess of items, including a USB style charger, 4-way wrench, Phillips screwdriver, optional or spare spur gear, servo horn with ball stud, cleaning brush, and an entire spare bag of hardware, including multiple body clips with rubber retainers, 2 spare wheel hexes, a set of spare wheel nuts, and what looks to be shock standoffs, maybe? I'm not quite sure on that one. Now, for the radio, this does appear to be a big chunky boy. Okay, maybe it's not that bad now that it's out of the box, but inside, looked like it had some extra pounds on it. Overall, this thing doesn't feel terrible. It is only going to take 3 AA, so that is a bonus. The trigger, though, man, that trigger is awful. The wheel, however, does not appear to be too bad, and it actually does feature a foam grip. Moving on to the command center, you do get a steering and throttle rate, along with a steering trim. You got forward and reverse switches for your steering and throttle, and then just an on and off switch on the bottom. All right, enough with all the small hoopla. Let's move on to the truck. You get not one, but 2 bodies with this truck. And the body clips are pre-installed, so all those are extras. Now, we don't get the purple version that shows on the box, but we do get the orange version we ordered with the Scintillate remote control car body. That one's all ready to rip. The truck style Piranha body underneath actually comes with a protective film from the factory, so if you want to add stickers to either of these, you are going to need to peel that off first. The truck body itself does look pretty decent. I'm not the biggest fan of this shape of body, but what's weird is the body retainers down here. It's almost like this truck's supposed to have a bigger body on it than what it does. And one other thing I'm noticing right off the bat, there is no foams in these tires. These are just tires and wheels, baby. And while the front end suspension on this truck actually feels pretty great, the rear end is softer than your mama's buns. Terrible, but tunable. Up front, you do get a big old bumper with some lights. And out back, you do have a nice wide wheelie bar setup. Downtown, it does get a little sketchy with these ultra thin metal, or what are supposed to be, my guess, skid plates. However, skid plates usually are the lowest point of the chassis. You got this thing that's gonna dig in, catch dirt and debris, and then tapers down. I don't know what they were thinking there. They need to go, another 3 millimeters thicker. And while the center section of the chassis is somewhat streamlined, in fact, there's only 2 screws in it and they are tucked down inside, which is good to see because it's protected. The other screws are all Phillips, and you only got what appears to be 2, maybe 3 screws on either end connecting the entire front and rear clip of the car to the chassis. Maybe there'll be some more good news of some more screws on top when we take the body off here in a second, but that's a little concerning. There's another section here where they were able to cut corners and keep costs low, and that's going to be where the hinge pins enter the chassis. There's no inner hinge pin mounts or retainers. The pins literally just go in the chassis. On small scale RCs, that's not a huge deal and you're able to get away with it. But once you start going up in size and weight like this truck, it does make me a little nervous. You might have some breakages there and have to replace the entire chassis plate. Speaking of weight, with a battery installed, this thing weighs almost nothing. In fact, it's only about 3 pounds 6 ounces, which is extremely light for a truck this size. So let's take the body off and get a closer peek at the chassis. Unsurprisingly, it is almost exclusively plastic components throughout the entire thing, with a double wishbone setup front and rear with non-adjustable steering links. The rear lower arms themselves really don't seem too bad. However, the front and rear upper arms, along with the front lower and the steering links, all appear to be made of very, very thin plastic, and it does seem like it's going to be somewhat brittle sitting here on the bench. Now, that being said, you do get some nice sized metal drive shafts in the front and rear of this truck, along with the shocks that feature some metal. The caps, the adjusting nut, and the bottom little eyelet nut thing right here are all metal. However, the bodies are composite. They are also all the way up, which is nice, so we can adjust these down and get a little bit better suspension feel in the rear of the truck. You do get some more metal in the middle with that center drive shaft, and the gears in the front and rear differentials do sound like they're metal as well, and there is ball bearings all the way throughout. One cool thing though, they do actually mold the part numbers right into some of the parts. Extremely thin shock towers on the front and rear also make me really nervous. For electronics, that is not a full-size steering servo, and it is plastic geared with these big tires. It seems to move okay, but it'll probably strip out before too long. And you also don't get a full-size motor either. This isn't a 540, it's not a 380, it's somewhere in between that you see on the 16th and 14th scale stuff, with a big heat sink. And for the ESC, it's going to be a 45 amp 2-in-1 ESC receiver unit capable of running 2 and 3S LiPo. You also do get a pretty unique battery tray on this guy. You have to turn this thumb dial, which is pretty stiff, and it opens up, and the latch system actually goes down into the chassis. You do have a foam block in there, honeycomb cut out throughout the entire chassis. So truthfully, after going through and seeing everything on the chassis, I really don't think this is going to make it through our full bass sesh, but we're going to try. So we're going to go charge up the batteries and give this thing a run. Nice little bench test first. Speed-wise, pretty good. Servo is weak, but I don't know, it's not terrible. Whoa. Oh. All right, well, survive that first part. We do got the GPS mounted up on it. We're gonna go give it a speed run first, see how she does. I don't know if it's the trigger on the radio or the motor itself, but there is a very big delay when you pull the throttle back. Oh, let's see if we can get out of there. All right, we saved it. Truck does get very unstable at high speeds on the stock suspension. We did tighten down the rear collars a little bit, just because the back was bottoming out. Oh, in the weeds. Did we save it? Oh yeah, it's still going. Give it one more pass here. Whoa. Yeah, the back end of this thing just walks right out. Well, it did not mean for that to happen. All right, I think we've done the best we can on this road. We're gonna bring it back and get a reading on the GPS here. Get up out of there. Nice. So where it does lack in top end, there is quite a bit of torque on this guy, especially with these big tires. Even though there's no foams and that does affect the handling, it can get over the rougher stuff pretty decently. Just taking a quick break to change locations, and I was curious, so I reached my finger in here to press the motor, and it already is building up a ton of heat. It's not very warm today, maybe low 60s, and that motor is already very, very warm. No shutoffs from the truck yet, but as we finish this battery, move on to the next one, this truck may get really hot, and that motor may end up shutting down on us. So far, this thing has really impressed me, though. Nope, right in the ditch. Did land wheel side down, so that's good. Nice. You know what? We're going back in the ditch. Just stay in the throttle. She comes back to her wheels most of the time. It's always nice when you get an RC that's balanced like that. Just got to keep ripping. Eventually it'll bounce back. Uh-oh. Huh? Might have had some rock stuck in the steering right there. Oh, no. We don't have any steering. There we go. Okay. Must have just been rocks. That's kind of scary. It would not steer to the left at all right there, only the right. But must have just been something stuck. Oh, got some damage. Let's see, did it break or did it pull out? Oh, nope, we just lost the body clip. All right, we're gonna try to move this ramp out of the road and get a clear shot at this jump. Not really sure how long this truck's gonna survive it, but we'll give it a shot and see. Man, if it had foam in the tires, this would really be it. But at 130 bucks, you could change the tires on here and still be well below budget of a lot of similar size bashers. Nice. Oh, it just keeps going. Thing bounces like a pogo stick. And it is very, very rear heavy, so if you stay in the throttle, this thing will just keep going backwards. Not quite enough to do a backflip off this ramp though. And pop back up. Oh, might be able to sneak a front flip out of this guy. Oh, so close. Oh. Bit dramatic of a landing there. Uh-oh. I think that first battery's finally dead on us. So far, the truck is still alive, though. As far as runtime goes, it's really not too bad, guys. We're gonna check the temp again. Oh yeah, that motor is really, really hot. If I was to run that first pack start to finish without a little brake, that motor probably would have overheated. I'm really surprised it's still going. I mean, that is hot. Hot, hot, hot already. Wow. Another thing, installing and taking out these batteries is a real pain in the freaking butt, trying to get that down there due to the triangular shape of the batteries, because I guess they thought triangle was a good idea with the 18650s. So there's a cutout in the honeycomb. The only way I was able to get it to fit was for the wires to face the inside, because otherwise the wires completely prevented it from shutting. But even there, you really have to crank down on this thing to get it all the way down inside. It's a big pain in the booty hole. Now, one other more mild complaint is these rear body pins. With the wing installed, they are a complete pain in the butt to try to get lined up. So honestly, I think it's easier if you just take the rear wing off, put the body clips in, and then reinstall the rear wing. It's just 2 extra body clips, but it'll save you a bunch of frustration of trying to bend up under this body and get these pins in there. Fresh battery, and it still backflips. I want to see if it'll do a backflip in reverse. Nice. Oh, that was a tough hit right there on the arm. Wheels stuck. Looks like we're still good. Oh, that water is a little deep out there in the middle. I'm not sure if this is waterproof. Oh no. Oh, it's above the tires. All right, we might be okay. Oh no. Oh, I think that killed it. Oh, not waterproof. I was trying to get some momentum back. Maybe it's just got some water in some wrong areas and it'll get going again here. Here are the upside down shakies here. Oh yeah, we're good to go again, baby. Look at that thing shake. Still rolling. Definitely a lot slower now. We weren't running that second battery very long, so I don't think it was a cutout mode. I think the water may have affected the electronics a bit, but seems to steer and go without too much glitching. As you can see, we are back in business simply from shutting the truck off and turning it back on. So it must have just went into some kind of protection mode, or I don't know, something of that sort to help protect the electronics, because we are good to go, baby. This thing is still just a ripping. It does want to traction roll a bit in this grass here, which is too big. Oh, look at that wheelie. Just tons of traction in the grass. Oh, oh, found the one tree. Oh, right into the rock. All right, we're hitting the overheat or low cutoff mode for real this time, and I'm wondering if it's the overheat mode because how much traction we're getting in the grass. The motor, surprisingly, is actually pretty cool and not too bad to the touch, so it must have just been low voltage mode. So is this the greatest RC truck ever made? Absolutely not. The factory cut a ton of corners with this guy to keep the cost low. All the ones we mentioned before, I really thought this truck was going to break when we bashed it, but it didn't. In fact, it held up to a ton of abuse that really surprised me. We had other vehicles on this channel that we sell in our own store that broke doing similar things, multiple of them. So the fact this didn't is really, really encouraging. And for the price point, this is probably one of, if not the best bang for your buck value options out there in the RC world. That being said, it's not without its faults. There is a lot crazy with this truck, like no foams in the tires, what appears to be thin plastics, but I guess does hold up to abuse. The drivetrain did hold up well under power, and the only breakages we received was we lost the body pin that they give you extra of on the rear wing, and we do get some cracks and a little bit of damage on the body. Oh, and I think I did lose a body pin on the front here now also. But for only 130 bucks, you could throw on a different set of tires on these guys, upgrade the electronics if you need to, put different shocks on there if you want to, or you want to tune it up with different oils, and still be well below the price point of a lot of the competition out there. But truthfully, I think the only immediate upgrade it needs is wheels and tires, just because of the no foams. I mean, other than that, I'd say just send it how it is for a while. So if you're interested in the Scintillate remote control car from VEVOR, links will be down in the description below, along with a link to our own website if you want to check out other RC cars and parts that are out there that we sell. And remember, keep it naughty.